Listeners, how are you tonight? Are you good? Great. I'm glad to hear it.
I hope so.
We're here at Go Network Studios.
Hey, there we go.
Listen, I don't mess it up that often. Here in beautiful 55-degree weather, Norwood, Massachusetts. Like I said, we're here at Go Network Studios here in Norwood, Massachusetts. We have a really good show in store for you today. We ended up taking a week off to the Rifties because my mind was just destroyed after the wonderful time we spent with the Shadow Council. And, oh, jeez. Optimus Prime's on the show.
Wow.
Listen, I never have my phone on.
Really?
I never have my phone on. It's always on silent. But I took my case off to clean it, and it flipped the switch, and I must have not... Obviously, clearly, I didn't flip the switch back.
Clearly not.
But
it scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what that was at first.
But I'll probably edit that out.
Yeah.
So we have a great show in store for you today. As I always say, at this point, am I like a corn artist or like one of those like sleazy car salesmen?
Do you mean corn or
I
con?
thought for sure he said corn too. Yeah.
I said corn, a corn artist, not a con. There, you can say a con artist too, but a corn artist.
Why,
is that an artist that paints with
What
corn?
is a corn artist?
You've never heard of a corn artist?
No.
Listen,
This is not a real thing. He's going to make this up on the fly.
I'm not going to make
heard
this
of a
up.
corn
I'm not going to make
artist.
this up. Yes, you have.
No, I've heard of the band Korn, but like that's it.
How about a con
A
artist?
person adept at lying.
That's a con artist.
That's a con artist.
It's the same as a corn artist.
No, there's not.
Listen,
Corn is okay.
I've been calling it a corn artist all my life.
Really?
Yeah.
And no one's questioned you on
corrected
that?
you.
No. Nope. I've been
What?
calling it one all my life.
All right, about the show.
Because
Wow.
a con artist, you're trying to gyp somebody into something, but a con artist is just like
Which is
constantly
what you're doing right now.
is-
You're trying to gyp us into thinking that corn artist is a
is
thing.
constantly lying to somebody.
This is not real. This isn't real.
Well,
No.
then talk to my parents. Then
This is not a real thing.
talk to my parents. Then
Corn artist.
that's what I've always said.
I think they said con artist with an accent. I think that's what it
Yeah,
was.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, somebody said con artist with a weird accent, and that's it.
I don't believe that.
Corn artist
I've
is
said
not a thing.
CORN my whole life.
So when you write out like a list trying to decide what to do you write pros and corns?
No, that's cons.
Okay.
I'm
I'm just trying to
just
figure out how
told you.
far this goes.
I told you there's two different. There's a con artist and there's a corn artist.
Do you have contacts in your phones or corn tax? I just trying to sort out how far this
You're a
goes.
comedian tonight, huh?
I'm just trying to figure this
You are a
out because I've
comedian.
never heard that.
You are a comedian.
Corn artist.
Yeah,
Wow,
I've been
okay.
saying it my whole life.
Yeah.
You are.
So
a
that means
comedian
that you
tonight.
say corn with confidence.
Yes. It's very confident.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Sure.
So are we going to Terrific Corn this year? I'll have to ask Mitch how he pronounced it because it's
Listen, it's not that I'm spelling it out CON and saying it's corn. I'm spelling it CORN.
I know that's what concerns me.
So I know the difference between con and corn.
Okay. Do you?
Yes, I'm telling you they're two different things.
Yeah.
All right.
A con artist is trying to get you to partake in a deal like buying a car.
Right.
A corn artist lies to
car
you.
salesman.
But those are kind of the same things.
No, they're I'm just lying to you. I'm not trying to get you to buy anything. I'm just lying. I'm a liar. But I'm not a liar. I'm telling the truth. It's going to be a good show.
Okay.
Listen, you guys are hating today.
I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm
Must be
so,
the Patriots fans in us.
Oh man. Yeah. This is wow.
Sure.
That goes up there with the Clorox wipes thing that you brought up on another show. That's up there.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to clean yourself. And you don't have, and you're sick and you're not feeling good.
Yeah.
Oh
And you
yeah,
gotta-
I remember that episode.
I have, I got a gif of, I'm waiting for you. Is it GIF? Don't you dare say, if it's GIF,
No,
you're
it's
off
GIF.
the show.
No, anyone who says
Okay,
GIF.
I was
no,
going to kick
no.
you out of this studio.
No, anyone who says GIF can kiss my ass.
I have a gif of Simon Cowell clapping and giving me thumbs up, and I feel like I deserve that
Okay, yeah.
because he knows I'm right.
you know he's a corn artist, right? So
He is.
I wouldn't
he
take that
is.
into account.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. And I got Drake pointing to me too, so I feel
Oh
good
well,
now.
yeah. Drake's endorsement. That's a big one.
Yeah. Maybe he listens to the show.
Maybe.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Drake.
What's up, Drake?
Drake, shout out.
Make better music.
Shout out Drake. I gotta make a shout out.
A sounder.
Yeah,
Mm.
and just says like it's my voice being shut out, and I'll say two. Yeah,
Not a bad idea.
yeah. No wonder why no one listens to the show. This is why no one listens to the show. I blame you guys.
Oh yeah, it's our fault. Sure.
Hey, you guys were the ones that continued with
Corn.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard that. I had to dive in. I can't just leave that one alone.
I'm sure you've heard me say it plenty of times.
No, I honestly haven't, because I would have challenged you on it a long time ago.
By the way, we just did a 5-minute segment on corn.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So
Are
that's
we-
what we've consumed.
Not corn,
I've consumed corn.
but it's not corn though. It wasn't technically. We weren't talking about ears of corn.
Right.
We were talking about.
No, we know that. I'm just not
sleazy
sure
people.
you do.
No, we were talking about sleazy people.
Yeah, right. Con
Sure.
artists. Yeah.
They're two different things.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
They're two different
This
things.
is going to be good.
They're two different things.
Anyway, the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did.
Listen, we don't talk sports on Static
Woo!
Rift. I'm deleting that. That's getting erased too. I'm Thanos right now, snapping my fingers. That's gone.
Damn, that was going to be what I consumed.
What?
I consumed the Patriots winning another
That's
Super Bowl.
trash. Get out of
Yeah.
here. Consume something else. You did other things.
So, John, since you have a lot of confidence today, what have you consumed?
I don't have confidence. That doesn't make sense. That's ridiculous. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I could understand if I thought the word con was corn. But so everything else you're saying just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work with it. Are we on Facebook Live right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't I find it? Okay, I found it.
It's just,
Are we the only two people watching it too? Probably.
yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Oh, did I just give them the finger? I hope I
yeah.
did.
Jeez.
Good. That wasn't to really you guys.
The
That was more-
standards of this show have really dropped since the Rifties. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
that's what happens
really
when you-
just-
I blame Jason. It's happened when Jason came on board.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
That's debatable. I agree.
It's
yeah.
the wrestling's fault.
All right, fine.
Oh, I
blame
know,
it.
yeah.
I blame it on the Eagles. It's when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
That's true. Yeah, you could point it back to that. There was the timeline fits.
No, it doesn't. That makes no sense. You guys are just being the worst.
Die, Eagles, die. Do, 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 do. I don't know the rest of the song. I just like
Good.
saying "Die, Eagles, die."
Good. Salty Patriots fan because they got their ass beat by the Eagles.
Lost by 8.
Well,
ass beating.
At the Super
Sure.
Bowl.
I mean,
Yeah.
they usually only beat people by 3, so
Yeah, we beat someone by 10.
Yeah,
a couple of days
this-
ago. So
the first
that's
time,
pretty good.
the first time that'll never happen again. Now they'll go back to their 3. They'll go back to their 3.
Nah.
Yeah. All right, let's get things.
Yeah, this is off to a good start. Yeah.
Hey, you guys are the ones that are.
No, I just.
You guys are the ones that are throwing the match in the kerosene. So if you want to,
Hey.
if you want to set the world on fire, I'll keep it blazing.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for it.
All right.
I hope any new listeners to the show, if this is your first time listening, I hope you're enjoying yourself right now.
And I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good vote of confidence from our wonderful producer, our Rifty award-winning producer, by the way. Thank you. That's good to know. Good to know.
Owner of multiple
Gonna
Rick
ta-
Rifties.
Gonna take a sip of my Vita Coco
I
here.
know, right? Yeah.
Vita Coco.
That will be relevant in a little bit.
Yes, it will.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna get into what we consumed because that's how we start every show. But in a quick moment, I want to just quickly go over the itinerary of this episode of Static Rift, episode 157 of Static Rift Radio, here on the Go Network. That's GEAUX Network. So we are going to have a couple of really good segments. Maybe we'll even have a fourth segment. We haven't decided yet. Probably not now, but maybe. We'll see how things go. We're going to talk about the recent tournaments that I've organized, and Static Rift has kind of come in to help me promote and get out there. So they're under the banner of Static Rift now, as well as numerous other organizations that we'll talk about during that segment. So that'll be the first segment. We're going to talk about the Boulder Cup that we had a couple weeks ago and the Twilight Cup that's coming up in a couple weeks. So if you're not a fan of Pokemon Go and you don't know what's going on, or you are a fan and you're out of the loop, Pokemon Go's added PvP to the game, so player versus player, and we've had a tournament for players versus players. It was a lot of fun, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into a segment on Batman. So for all you comic fans, unfortunately, it's not comic book Batman, it's movie Batman. Oh, I know.
No.
So we're going to talk about movie Batman because it was just announced that the next Batman movie is not going to be your typical Batman. It's not going to have Ben Affleck in it. So we're going to talk about that Batman. We're going to give you the latest details on the next DC Universe Batman movie and kind of give you our opinions on who we think should be the next Batman, the man under the cowl. Then we're going to have a video game segment on The Punisher and if The Punisher should have another chance in the video game world. There was a Variety
I believe it was, yeah.
A Variety article saying that now's the time after the recent Punisher show and the recent Spiderman game that it's the best time to combine the best of both worlds, Hannah Montana style, and make a new Punisher game. So me and Jason are going to go into the debate if we think that if there should be a new Punisher game, if there shouldn't, how it should be done, what we would like to see from a new Punisher game, or if we'd like to see a completely different Marvel game in general. And then if there's time, we're going to talk wrestling. Because
If you guys can handle that.
we like it.
Yeah.
Wrestling's
I don't know.
fun.
We'll see.
We probably won't talk wrestling, but maybe. There's always a chance. Just like we used to always talk comics, but, you know. Love you guys. Okay, so what we consumed, let's get into it. I'll go first. So I did a ton of things this week. I tried to watch a bunch of shows so I could talk about on the show, and I started reading comics again so I could talk about them on the show, but I'm not going to talk about either because I did something else that I normally don't do. I went to the movies by myself.
Whoa.
I went to the theater by myself, felt like a complete loser because at first I was legit the only person in the theater. I was legit, there was
That'd
nobody
be
else.
awesome.
That's the best part. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like one of the best
kinda,
scenarios ever.
sad.
Ah.
You can stretch out your legs. You can do whatever you
I
want.
mean, I was stretching my legs no matter
You
what.
can make as much noise as you want. You can fart. You can burp. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
I probably would have farted and burped anyways.
Oh, well, that's your own prerogative.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Get
That's
the
not
whole
that
big screen to
disruptive.
yourself. You don't have to worry about anyone else talking during the movie.
Sure,
Great.
I guess.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I don't know. I felt like a loser. Like one of the ushers came in
Yeah.
to like see what was going on. You know how they like sell pins before the
Yeah.
so he like walked in and he looked and he was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And then like he rolled up. He's like, "Hi, sir." I was like, "No."
Yeah.
He was
I'm all
like,
set. Yeah.
"Okay."
Yeah.
And then he leaves. So I'm sitting
Leave
there.
me in my solitude.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Well, all right, this is going to be worth it. This is going to be worth it."
What movie did you watch?
I'll get to it. And then finally, a couple more people came in. So it ended up being like me and maybe like 3 or 4 other people. So
That's not bad.
It was all right. It was okay. But I saw the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. So
Okay.
I could not miss that. I needed to see it. And it was just one of those things that I wasn't sure if anyone would go with me. And it was like, I don't really care if anyone wanted to go with me because this is a movie that I really want to see. I mean, I probably wouldn't go to a Marvel movie by myself. I probably wouldn't go to a live-action movie by myself.
What's
But-
the difference?
Because, I don't know, I felt this was more like a, you know, I don't know. It didn't feel like a movie to me. It felt like I was watching, like, Dragon Ball Z. because it was legit. Like, it was like I watched a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z in a row.
Yeah.
Like, they could have cut this movie, what they've done kind of for the other movies where they kind of put them on the show after. On Super, they kind of show you the same thing as the movie, but they cut it up into a few episodes.
Yeah.
So this could have exactly been like, an arc of Dragon Ball Super on TV. And it just would have been like cut up. So it's just like, think of me like binging. That's how it felt.
It felt like you were binging your
That's how it
favorite
felt.
show.
That's how it felt. It didn't feel like a movie. Where a movie, it's a spectacle and it's a movie.
Sure.
This felt more like I was just binge watching Dragon Ball Super. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't take anything away from it. I thought the movie was spectacular, but it could have been better. I thought it was really, really good. I'd probably give it an 8.5. You could argue with me if there's any, Dragon Ball lovers out there that want to be like, John, you're on crack. It was better than that. You could argue me a 9, but it definitely was not a 10. The ending was all right. It was okay. The prior to the ending, the movie was amazing. It was awesome all the way through. The artwork, the visuals, like the animation they did in this movie was so unreal. Like, they really stepped up in this. Like, Toei, oh man, they stepped up so hard. It was amazing. It looked unreal. I don't know. It looks so different from how it's animated on TV. And I don't know if it's just like a Japanese thing, but I mean, it can't be, because I don't think they really, when they port it over they're just dubbing it over. I don't think I don't know. It just looks so good. It was like so like crisp, and I don't know, it just had like a watercolory feel to it. It just looked really nice. The visuals were amazing. It was awesome. And the fight scenes were so good. They kind of ramped it up. Like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super is known for their fight scenes. They're known for being the pinnacle of action anime, and they kind of dialed it up to like 15, where normally it's like a 10. They're dialing it up to 15. The fight scenes were awesome. The artwork was awesome. The voice acting was awesome as always. I always think that they're the best dubbed anime of any anime out there. It was all your normal voice actors. It wasn't like they changed it for the movie or anything like that. Just I can't say enough good things about the movie, but I'm going to be critical with it because I didn't think the ending was as good as it could have been. So the movie itself, if you're not you're not into Dragon Ball, or you were into Dragon Ball Z back in the day, it is kind of a reboot remake of the Broly movie back in the day. So in the 90s probably it came out, because Dragon Ball Z time frame is always messed up for me because I watched it when it came to America. And obviously it came out late 80s, early 90s in Japan. So the original Broly movie was good. It was a good movie. Broly was a cool character. They kind of spin him on his head, where Broly was an evil piece of crap in the original movie. In this, he's more of a misunderstood, very powerful being. So he's not necessarily a bad guy, and he's not necessarily a good guy. He's kind of just like a neutral, like really misunderstood. He's almost like
Thanos?
Childlike in a way. No, not Thanos. It's still the similar origin where he's sent to like a really crappy planet, like a desolate planet with his dad, and he gets brought up by his dad. His dad trains him to be like a killing machine, kind of, but in the original, the hatred kind of festers in him, and he wants to kill Goku for crying when he was a baby. Where this, he wasn't placed in the same room as Goku, so he doesn't have that anger towards anybody. He's more angry because his dad wouldn't let him hang out with this like creature that he was training with on the planet. So he's just more of like a misunderstood, he doesn't know a lot of like social cues. He doesn't really have a good talking. He's not really good with talking like the original Broly was. He's more of like a child. The best way I can describe him is he's just like a big child, kind of. He has a stunted growth. He's very powerful. He's very strong. He's still that legendary Saiyan that he was in the original movie, but mentality-wise, his mentality's not the same. And I thought that was really cool. I really liked the switch. You get to see a switch of Goku as a kid, how Goku got to Earth, stuff like that. So they kind of almost reboot the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, which wasn't the beginning of Dragon Ball Z anyways. They put it in a few movies later on. So technically, was it canon? Probably not, because, you know, if you consider the movies to be canon or not, I know Akira Toriyama doesn't sometimes. He worked on this movie, so he considers this canon. This is the Broly that he envisioned. So this is the Broly that's canon now. So if you see more seasons of Dragon Ball Super or whatever they want to call it going forward, I think hopefully they keep it Dragon Ball Super, but they might change it to some other name. And there's a couple out there, but I'm not going to get into them. But in your next season of Dragon Ball Super, you're probably going to see Broly coming back.
Okay. You're
probably going to see. So spoiler alert, he's still alive.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you how or what happens, but he's alive. If he died and they wished him back, or he's lived, you watch the movie, find out. But the movie was great. I loved it, and it was intriguing enough, obviously, to get me to go to the theater, and it delivered while I was in the theater. Now, the movie itself made over 100 million worldwide.
That's pretty good.
Dragon Ball is booming right now.
Yeah.
So if there's not another season, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a big problem if there's not another season. But I think there will be.
I can't imagine they wouldn't after a success like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the trailers were good enough that I haven't even finished Dragon Ball Super. I'm on like the last arc. I'm on the Tournament of Power. And I know, obviously, they win it. I know. But I don't know how they win it. And I was glad in the movie they don't ruin it for you. So if you haven't finished Dragon Ball Super, you can still see the movie, and it's not going to ruin the show for you. Well, it's not going to completely ruin it.
Yeah.
I mean, you should know they're going to win.
There might be some overlapping, but yeah,
you should know. No, they just basically tell you that they won the Tournament of Power, but they don't tell you how. And I'm nice.
All right,
All right good. I knew they were winning anyways because
fine.
Goku doesn't lose. What are the show's going to end? They lost. They got erased. Clearly, you know they're going to win. So. Yeah, it was a great movie, a really good movie. The soundtrack was great. They used the actual Japanese soundtrack from the movie, so I was listening to some Japanese tunes, and I was like, all right. They used the classic Dragon Ball Z, Head Shala song. Excellent. They had made some songs from the movie. Fantastic. Great soundtrack. Great visuals. Great fight scenes. But the ending was just all right. How they end the confrontation is just a little, and I feel it's a little weak. Weak.
Yeah.
They could have done it better. They should have done it better, but in no way does it ruin the movie. The movie's still amazing. Like I said, and the fight scenes are really cool. You get something that Dragon Ball Z fans have been wanting for a long time. Another character that's been in a bunch of movies but was never canon. And now they're canon, and they can go Super Saiyan God, so that was pretty cool, too. So,
Is it Bulma?
No, Bulma can't go Super Saiyan God.
Not that you know of.
Oh.
Who knows?
I don't know. She's in the movie. But...
I mean, she can kick the crap out of Goku, so...
Yeah, but I mean, Goku lets anybody kick the crap out of him, kinda. But, yeah. We could do so many theories on Goku, but that's for another day. Maybe we'll get into is Goku really a hero or not?
Ooh.
We'll get into that one day, maybe. But
Yeah.
So what did you guys do? Did you guys go watch a movie by yourself? What did you guys do?
I did. Not at the theater, but I did watch a movie by myself. It was on Netflix, and it was called Polar.
Ooh, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's basically John Wick, right?
So it's very, very similar to John Wick.
So I keep hearing about this, and everyone's like, oh, you got to see it if you love John Wick. I'm like, but I don't want a movie that's similar to John Wick. I want John Wick to be John Wick.
Sure.
Is this just knock off John Wick? I saw the picture of the dude. It's just John Wick with an eye patch.
Well, okay, first of all, it's Mads Mikkelsen, who is one of the coolest actors
but he looks
in the world.
he looks like John Wick.
Well, sure. But so basically,
Well, they made him look like John Wick.
He's a retired hitman who and his former employer is after him because they have this thing where if you turn 50 and you die, they get all the money from your retirement fund. They're the sole beneficiary. So they're hunting him.
Okay.
So yeah, you can sort of see.
So it's John Wick.
Right. But it's
John Wick without his wife and his dog dying. Or does his wife and his dog die?
No.
Okay.
No, there's not that.
Okay.
But there is an extra twist that John Wick doesn't have. I don't want give it away, obviously.
So is it better than John Wick?
No.
I can tell by your eyes it's not better than John
No,
Wick.
it's not better than John, because John Wick is amazing. But it was close. It was better than I thought it was going to be when I went in to watch it.
I will say this until the day I die, or until a movie becomes a better action movie than John Wick.
Yeah,
John Wick 2 is the best action movie of all time.
I agree.
I have never seen so none of this crap about Fury Road. Screw you, Mad Max. I don't give two craps about you and your overhyped movie that's just one
Well,
chase
Mad Max
scene.
is great. You are wrong about that.
It
but-
could be great. It might be great, but it's not better than John Wick 2.
No, I agree. John Wick 2 is better.
And I don't need to see it because from what I've heard from level-headed people, that it's basically just one chase scene. Granted, they like the one chase scene.
Oh, what, Mad Max?
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
no, it's so much more than that. Whoever
maybe.
told you that's a...
Sure.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, to me, the Pantheon still remains John Wick 2, Mad Max, Mission Impossible 2. Like, that's still the triad of great action movies.
Rambo 2.
No, Rambo 2 was not better than
Rambo
those three.
2 was
No.
great.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't better than those three.
Oh, I don't know about the Rambo 2 is a classic.
So obviously, Polar doesn't get into that category. It was, it was a good movie, good action movie. If you like John Wick, if you like Mads Mikkelsen, check it out. They're probably going to do more. The way it ended, it looks like they're definitely going to do more. I don't know if it's going to be like a trilogy per se, like they're planning with John Wick, but they're at least probably going to do one more because it seems to be doing pretty well. The action scenes are good. I wasn't thrilled with the main antagonist just because he was kind of like a goofy character who like really didn't pose a threat at any point.
The John Wick guy?
No, in Polar.
Like the guy who's supposed to be John Wick?
No, antagonist, the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah, he just didn't. He never posed a threat, and like I guess that was sort of the point, is that he's supposed to be like this goofy, like has everyone else do his job for him type of guy. But that kind of took away from the movie a little bit because like their final encounter was so deflating and so anticlimactic that like as good as the movie was up to that point, their final encounter and the final like 5 minutes of the movie, I was like, okay, that was disappointing.
So did it ruin the movie or?
Close. It didn't quite ruin it, but it also was. I sort of looked at it and I'm like, really? That's it? After all that build-up, that's what we got? Like, okay. So I hope that if they do a second one, that they get more like intense about it and they bring in like a really like dangerous villain who really challenges the main character a lot more and sort of, makes it more like John Wick, where you're like on the edge of your seat going, oh man, like our main character he might actually die here. He's in trouble. So if they do a second one, hopefully they go down that road. But the first one's a solid start. I'd say give it a shot. It's 2 hours. It's on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix account, you can just go stream it right now. It's a good movie. It's a good action movie. But again, don't expect it to be better than John Wick, and don't expect it to blow you away. But it's entertaining.
Okay, Dimitri, how about you? What'd you do?
I don't know if I told you guys. Well, I may have told you, but I watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
nice.
yeah, we talked about it. We didn't really talk about it, but you mentioned it on the Rifties because we gushed about Into the Spider-Verse, but you didn't get into it. So get into it.
It's about Spider-Man.
Sure.
I guessed as much. Yeah.
So, Dimitri, are you a superhero, truthfully? Are you the brick or the brick wall?
Why?
Because I feel like what we consumed, either you're very fluid and open to talking or you're the wall.
It depends on my mood that day.
Well,
No, so Into the Spider-Verse was very good. It was one of the best animated movies I've seen. I definitely understand all the hype that's behind it. It's very colorful. It's great animation. It's the music in it is awesome, and it's a cool story that you don't really hear about. Every other Spider-Man thing that you ever see was how he got his powers, what he did with his powers, and the first villain he fought. This is so much more.
Right.
yeah, I agree.
And Spider-Pig is in it, so
There we go.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job, like I said during the Rifties. I think it was the best animated movie of 2018, and it won the Rifty for best animated movie of 2018. it was arguably it was maybe the best Marvel movie of 2018 as well.
It technically wasn't a Marvel movie. It was actually a Sony movie that Marvel
But it
let release.
it's still considered a Marvel movie because technically Spider-Man: Homecoming's the same thing.
Because Spider-Man's owned by Sony technically.
Sure.
That that Marvel
But
gives
Marvel's-
permission to release.
Marvel's been helping them make Spider-Man related movies, so I believe they helped them with this too.
Which would make sense because I
'Cause it
would
was
say
good.
the movie is a giant commercial for Sony. It does seem like it's a giant commercial for
Yeah.
Sony.
Yeah, but I mean, granted, I'm sure that their game's that way too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, that's why it's a Sony exclusive because they own the rights. I think if Marvel makes another game, which we'll get into, I think that it will be multi-platform.
Yeah.
I think they'd make a mistake if it's
Ultimate Alliance.
just one.
Yeah.
Shh. Shut up. Don't. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants Ultimate Alliance but Nintendo. But we
But
can
it's
get into
coming.
that.
It's probably coming anyway.
I don't think anybody wants it, unfortunately.
I do. I'll play it.
No, I do. I'm just saying, like, I don't think any of the the companies want it. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
Xbox are they're like,
Yeah.
have your weak
yeah.
Ultimate Alliance.
This trash out of our studios.
We don't want this crap.
No.
Do you think Marvel went to them and was like, listen, we want to do Ultimate Alliance 3, and they were just
They laughed in their face.
and they only wanted Nintendo? No, they went to other companies and they were like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how I feel it happened.
That's fair.
So, yeah, Into the Spider-Verse was amazing. I loved what they did with the Kingpin. I thought they depicted him really well.
They did. He did. They depicted him a little differently because he's so huge.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make him that huge. In the comics, he's that huge. He's a mountain of a man. I mean, and they did the best they could in real life with Vincent D'Onofrio because he's a huge hulking
guy.
man. Like,
Yeah.
he's a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really make, unless you got like someone like Andre the Giant style.
Right, but they still needed someone who could act.
Sure,
So you have
right.
to get someone who can act who's also a massive man.
But
yeah.
you got to figure like the Kingpin. Think of like an Andre the Giant type
And
guy.
The Rock was busy.
Yeah, you can't just stick Braun Strowman in a white suit and have him be the
but-
Kingpin.
I don't know, Bronx. You need a guy who's like bulky, but also kind of like, I don't know. The Kingpin to me isn't jacked.
I see what you mean. He's more like he's thick, but he's not
He's
like
thick, and
he's not an Adonis.
He's
of
got
a man.
muscle, but he doesn't have a six pack. Probably.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't see him out of a suit, but you
No.
know what I mean. But and I thought they depicted him really well in the movie. They depicted his love for his family very well. They just got him really well. All the voice acting was done really well too. A known actor voiced him too. I forget who it was. It was a very big known actor that voiced him, and there was a very big known actor that voiced Spider-Man Noir, and that was Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage was Chris Pine was normal Spider-Man, original Spider-Man.
It was Liev Schreiber voiced Kingpin.
There we go.
Yeah.
I knew it was somebody like a big actor. They had a lot of really big actors. Like everybody, I
mean-
think everybody voiced them. Like everyone was a big actor, kind of.
Yeah, they've got a pretty impressive cast.
Except
here.
I think Miles Morales probably wasn't. I think he was somebody.
Shamik Moore. I've heard the name, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
who,
can't claim to know who
Yeah,
he is.
I don't know who he is.
or what he's been in.
I don't
but-
know who he is.
I mean, Mahershala Ali was in it.
Yeah, he was his uncle.
Lily Tomlin
Yep.
was Aunt May.
Yeah, and Aunt May was awesome.
Yeah.
T.J. Parker, I think, was in it too somewhere. I think I heard his voice.
Yes, I just saw him somewhere. But yeah, he was in it. I mean, that's a hell of a cast.
Yeah, it was a really good cast. The visuals were amazing. The animation again, different from Dragon Ball Super movie, but very good visuals. Very like 3D-ish, crazy visuals. Really cool. I didn't see it in 3D. I saw it in 2D, but you could tell that it was definitely probably a good movie to see in 3D. But it was a fantastic movie. I really loved it. It was one of those movies that kind of got all your emotions going too, which I really liked that.
Yeah, there were some
for-
sad parts. There were some funny parts. There were some action parts.
Yeah, I really like that for an animated film. I think you kind of should. You should feel like a schizophrenic watching an animated film, especially when you're an adult.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
and this film definitely does that in spades. I felt crazy watching it because I felt really sad. I don't know if it got me sad to the point where I had to pretend there was butter in my eye, but it definitely did get me sad. I was like, oh, jeez. And there was times that I laughed pretty hard, like really hard. The movie was great. I can't say it enough. The movie was awesome. Great cast, great animation, great story, great writing, and they're probably going to do a sequel. They have to do a sequel.
Oh, I would imagine they will.
And what was it? It was done by. Do you still have it up? The movie thing was it? It was done by the Lego guys. Did the Lego guys do it?
I believe it was. Yeah.
So maybe I have to give them credit because for a while I was like, I'm not watching the Lego movie. Forget it. And now I'm like, these guys, the director. I think I should give it a chance because.
Yeah. Well, it had multiple directors, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. It was done by the same guys.
The Legos dude were the two dude, like Chris Lord and somebody else or something like that.
Oh, Phil Lord and
there you go.
Yeah, Rodney Rothman were the screenplay guys. So yeah.
Well, who directed it?
Peter Ramsey, Robert Paraschetti.
So it wasn't the
Rodney Rothman did direct it.
Okay. So I knew the Lego guys had something to do with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if they did this, then the Lego movie has to be good. You've seen the Lego movie, right, Dimitri? You're
yes.
a fan.
Yep, the first one's good.
Great movie.
See, I don't know.
The second one's coming out soon.
Yeah.
I feel like, to me, it's just like, I just saw trailers and everything. It just looks like they're trying to make a parody of everything.
That's kind of the
Yeah,
point.
they are.
I don't know if I
But
like
it's
that.
done well. It's done tastefully. It's not, it's not like hacky.
Sure, and everyone
So.
tells me that. Everyone says it's really good.
Now, I did not see the Batman Lego movie. I heard that was not as good. But
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of how they do Batman either. That's probably part of the turnoff.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
all right. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back to talk Pokemon Go PvP, the tournaments that I've been organizing with the help of Pokemon Go Massachusetts. So we will be back talking Pokemon, so stay tuned. So we are back here on the Go Network. And that theme, that wonderful, wonderful theme. It's time to talk Pokemon. We're going to be talking some Pokemon Go PvP. If you want to call in, you can do so at 857-366-5444. If you want to text in, you can do so at 857-445-0424. The numbers are also up on the Facebook Live. So if you want to call in, ask us some questions about PvP, or maybe you have some comments on PvP, or comments about the tournaments that we're going to be talking about, please call in, ask away, because we're here for that. That's what we're here for. So we're going to be talking about the most recent Boulder Cup tournament that we held a few weeks ago, and we're going to be talking about the next tournament that we're going to be having, which is the Twilight Cup. So recently PvP came out for Pokemon Go, I'd say 2 months now.
Yeah,
it was like mid-December.
Yeah.
I remember we talked about it on the show. We were pretty pumped about it, and it came out pretty quick. It came out quicker than we expected. We thought it wouldn't come out until 2019. It kind of came out, I think it was like December 19th-ish. It was like mid-December. It was definitely before Christmas, and it was kind of like a little gift for us. So when Niantic first released PvP, they said there wouldn't be any ranked tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least as far as they were concerned, they weren't going to have any in-game ranked tournaments. So if us as the community wanted to have rankings or have tournaments, stuff like that, we had to do it on our own. So a couple of YouTubers got with the Sylph Road. The Sylph Road is a data mining website that pulls in all the data from anytime Pokemon Go updates. They kind of pull the data from that, let you know what's coming in the update before it comes out. They compile like all the Pokemon that are in the current eggs. They compile all the raid bosses that are up. They're basically just a great place to go to find out about Pokemon Go. All the new things about Pokemon Go. Anything that new that happens, they're the first to announce news. They're the first to announce anything that happens in it. They also are the place that you go to find Pokemon nests. So they'll post where the Pokemon are migrating, because every, I think, second every other Wednesday, Pokemon migrate. So you'll have nests for wherever you go. If you go to like a park, you'll see that it might just be all like Pikachus. And then 2 weeks later, it's all, whatever, Metapods.
Yeah.
Niantic changes the nest, so you have a chance if you're in a rural area or a populated area or whatever kind of area, you have a chance to get other Pokemon. So the Silph Road does a really good job with putting the nests out there, of them compiling a list of all the nests so you can go and use their map, find out what nests are around you, because Niantic stopped any kind of maps. This is really the only map you can kind of use.
Yeah.
People were abusing the maps and finding 100 IV Pokemon and catching them and stuff like that. So, no more.
Yeah.
So, yes, the Silph Road's a great thing. So, a couple of YouTubers, especially Trainer Tips Nick, who's I'm a big fan of his. I enjoy watching his videos. Shout out to Trainer Tip Nicks. So, hopefully we can get him on the show one time. He and a couple other YouTubers got with Silph Road and they started to compile a ranking system and stuff like that. So now this is the only place you can go. They're using their well, you can go anywhere in the world, but the Silph Road software is what ranks you in PvP. So it's not necessarily Niantic doing it. Niantic is recognizing it, I guess. They're accepting it. They're like, yeah, this is the way to go to be ranked in Pokemon Go. And it also seems that now, because it's working and communities are organizing these tournaments and a lot of people are enjoying PvP, and there's now this competitive aspect to it where before it was just kind of used for mining Sinnoh Stones.
Yeah,
you went there, you did your 3 battles a night to try to get a couple Sinnoh Stones to evolve your Pokemon. And that was really, unless you were like a really hardcore player, most casual players were just using PvP just to get their stones and they were out. But now it seems more people are getting more involved in it, and that's really cool. So me being a hardcore player, I'm a very hardcore player. I really love Pokemon Go. It's one of my favorite things in life right now. I wanted to challenge myself to see if I was the best of the best. So I was looking all around. I went on the Silph Road. I'm like, is there any places that I can, because they have a map of places that you can go to play PvP tournaments. I didn't see anything around the area, so I'm like, I'm not going to be able to play. That's it. I'm not going to be able to play. So I'm in a couple of Facebook groups. I'm in Pokemon Go Massachusetts and Pokemon Go Boston, I want to say, or is it Boston Pokemon Go? Well, the Boston page for Pokemon Go. I'm in both of them. I have, I guess, closer ties with Massachusetts because one of my really good friends, Ted, is one of the admins, and I personally know some of the other admins there, whereas Pokemon Go Boston, I only know one of the admins. So, I went to them and I was like, hey, do you guys plan on having any tournaments? And they were like, us personally, no, but if there's any tournaments, we'll endorse them and stuff. And, there are people having some tournaments around and stuff like that. So then I was like, all right, well, I know Pokemon Go is a social game, and it depends. Sometimes I'm a weird person. Sometimes I'm very social. Sometimes I'm not. So I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. Like, could I completely just, if they're having one in like Western Mass, am I gonna drive all the way to Western Mass, not knowing anybody, and just be like, "Hey guys, I'm here to win." Like,
yeah, I'm here to smoke all you fools.
I'm here to destroy everybody. So I was just like, oh man, I don't know what to do. So then I contacted Sam. He's the creator of the Pokemon Go Massachusetts page. This is a Facebook group on Facebook. So if you're into PvP or you're into Pokemon Go and you want to kind of join a Pokemon community, this is kind of one of the, I don't want to toot my horn, but I guess it's one of the leading communities. It's one of the higher pages on Facebook. There's over 2,000 people on the page.
Yeah.
So 2,000 subscribers or fans, or I don't know what you call them on Facebook, but we have a lot of people that like the page and stuff like that. So I went to Sam and I was like, hey, I really want to find a PvP tournament. Do you know of any, or are you guys going to be setting one up? Are you going to have any PvP events? Because, they'll set up events from time to time. Last summer they had a really cool event at Castle Island where we all met up and hung out and caught Pokemon and ate hot dogs, and it was a lot of fun. And he was just like, no, not really. Like, we're all kind of busy. We can't really, commit to it. But if we can find somebody that would want to, take the reins, we would, we'd help out. And, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So then I was like, all right, I'll do whatever I can do to help out. And I was just thinking, I'd be kind of like a supplementary person, like just helping out, being there in like the wings, And he was just like, all right, I'll make you an admin on the page, and then you can be our tournament guy. So that's how it started, which was pretty cool. It was really cool. Like, I guess at the time, I didn't know how much work it was going to be. And it's definitely a lot of work.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not. Lately I've been putting so much into these tournaments that I've been neglecting other things. So, yeah, I mean, I gotta try to balance things out, but I think it'll be easier. So, we had our first tournament 2 Sundays ago. We took off last week, or we would have talked about it then. And we're gonna have another tournament coming up. But let me get into the first tournament. So, after we planned it out, we were trying to figure out where we wanted to go, what we wanted to do. It's too cold right now. Obviously, Pokemon Go Massachusetts, we're based in Massachusetts. At the start of the show, I say Norwood, Massachusetts sometimes. So we're based in Massachusetts. Static Rift is. Pokemon Go Massachusetts is. So it's cold right now. It's kind of cold. Today, it wasn't. It was 55. It was nice.
But usually it's Arctic.
It's pretty cold. So we were like thinking, what are we going to do? How are we going to make this work? So one of the fans or people that, are in the community of Pokemon Go Massachusetts is one of the owners of Game Underground. She's awesome. Her name's Alana, and she was like, oh, you guys could do it here. We could host it here. And that was the start of, our first tournament. So, like I said, 2 Sundays ago, we had the Boulder Cup, which was the first Sylph League tournament. Like I said, Sylph Road is the one. Their engine's hosting it, but we're organizing it and hosting it in various areas around the world. So there was like, I want to say 3,000 or 6,000 tournaments or something like that. It was insane, the number of tournaments around the world, because Pokemon Go is a world game. I think the only place that doesn't have it is China or something like that.
Yeah.
But all around the world, people were making these tournaments. So it was basically the whole month of January was the Boulder Cup, which was based off Brock's badge from the original Kanto gym leaders, and Brock, obviously, from the anime, if you watch that, the original #1 gym leader, the first guy you face, the Rock Master of Kanto. It was based off of his badge, the Boulder badge, and it was a tournament that you could use Rock, Steel, Fighting, and Ground-type Pokemon, which was really cool. You could only use them in the Great League, which is 1,500 CP or lower. And so this is the first tournament that we held. We also had a tournament in the Ultra League and a tournament in the Master League. There was really no stipulations on it. We just wanted to kind of have a tournament for everybody. So if you were more into ranking up your Pokemon and maxing them out, that the Master League was for you. If you were kind of like an in-betweener, the Ultra League was for you. If you were, if you wanted to be in all 3 of them, you could. If you wanted to be in one of them, you could. If you wanted to be in 2 of them, you could. And we tried to make it convenient for everybody. The turnout was okay. I was expecting nobody to come, kind of. I was getting worried because people didn't start to show up until kind of 10 minutes before it was going to start, to the point where we had to turn away somebody because they didn't register in time. I was harping for weeks, like, register, get it done, register. It's super easy. You just got to click a link, make a self-trainer card, and type in a 4-digit number, and you're in.
Yeah.
And pick your 6 Pokemon that you want to use, and it's super easy. It takes maybe a minute or 2, and then if you're, maybe internet challenged, sometimes I am. I know I have issues with like using computers and stuff because I'm a Mac user generally, or I use my phone most of the time. But You could do it on your phone too. It was super easy, super streamlined. So at most, if you have issues with anything, internet wise or computer wise, it'd take you maybe 5 minutes tops.
Yeah.
So issue or no issue, you could do it between a minute to 5 minutes. So it's really fast, really easy, and people still procrastinate. And I don't blame them, because I guess I procrastinate.
It happens, man.
Yeah, I'm a procrastinator myself. I'm known to procrastinate.
Yep.
So we actually had to turn someone away. So we had 11 people in the Boulder Cup. It was really cool. It's a Swiss-style tournament. Silk Road hasn't yet added knockout or single elimination or double elimination. I think they're working on it.
Yeah,
they plan on having them out. But right now it's just Swiss style. So basically Swiss style is everybody in the tournament battles each other depending on how many rounds. This one was only 4 rounds. So you went through 4 different people. Win or lose, you keep playing. You're not out. If you lose, you just battle the next person. And then they compile your wins, which they gave you points for. I'm not sure how they did the point, if it was just a point for a win and 0 for nothing, or if you got points for... I'd have to relook at the point totals, because I can't remember what they were. I'm leaning towards they were just a point you win, 0 you don't.
0 if you lost.
I think
that would
so.
make the most sense.
I think so,
Anything else might get too convoluted. So,
yeah, I think it was that, to be honest with you. But I want to say I had 6 points. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can probably easily check, but I'm not going to right now, because I want to talk about this. So the tournament was a lot of fun. We got some people from all over. We had someone from Leominster. We had someone from the Cape. We had someone from New Hampshire. We had, well, I don't know if he lives in New Hampshire, works in Mass, but he was from New Hampshire. I remember him saying he had to travel back to New Hampshire. So we had a nice coupling of people, like from all over Massachusetts or the New England area, which was really, really cool. Everyone was cool. There was no lame people there. We had a lot of fun. We had a ASL interpreter, because we had a deaf player that came and had a good time.
Yep.
So that was fun. We wanted to make sure that everybody was included.
Yeah, it was accessible to everyone.
Yeah, if there was any issues, like if you were deaf or whatever, we wanted to make it open to everybody. We didn't want to discriminate against anybody. We wanted everyone a fair chance to play and to play if they wanted to. We also had a sponsor. It was Vita Coco.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Vita Coco. So they sponsored the tournament. They also gave us, they were very generous and gave us 3, 6, 9, like 12 or 13 cases.
Yeah, it was
like
a lot.
That.
Yeah,
it was about 12 or 13 cases, all assorted. They gave us the one I have here, the sparkling drinks, where this is sparkling and grapefruit. They gave us the actual normal coconut water. They gave us pineapple coconut water. They gave us some other coconut something, crushed coconut water. I don't know. There was a third kind.
They've got all sorts of varieties.
Yeah, they had so many varieties, so they were very generous and nice to us. To give us all that. They sponsored us. They gave us banners. They hyped us up. So thank you again, Vita Coco. We hope that to keep working with you in the future. We're working on future sponsors, but I'm not going to get into those because I don't know if they're going to be legit or not, if it's going to happen, and I don't want to say something and it's not true, because I'd be a corn artist.
That's right. Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. We don't want that. Well,
oh man!
I got another.
What's like the main company that produces corn in this country? We got to get them as an advertiser.
You never heard, like, you lie so much that corn grow out your ears.
Yeah, that's different though. That's an expression.
That's where it comes from. You're a corn artist.
I guess. Yeah. No, I'm still not. I'm not letting you have this.
I'm gonna sell it to you. I'm gonna sell it to you.
I'm gonna fight you on this.
All right, you
this
can. That's fine. That's fine. Growing up, that's what. All right.
I will write a dissertation about this if I have to.
And post it on SadCraft. You should.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
You should. So the tournament was awesome. We had a fun time. So Sam was good enough to, not Sam Cooper, our former host, but my buddy Sam from Pokemon Go Massachusetts, Sam Snyder. He created certificates, so everyone got a certificate. The top 3 trainers got a certificate, so gold, silver, or bronze winners, so first, second, and third place got certificates, and they also got these really cool like medals that he made up.
Yeah.
They were pretty sweet. They were gold, silver, and bronze. Not to toot my own horn, but I was your winner of the Boulder Cup. I went undefeated. I did a fantastic job.
Yes, congratulations.
Listen,
we're all very proud of you.
I deserve to be noticed here. I didn't get interviewed like I should have. Just because Static Riff, just because Static Riff's covering the event, I'm in it. I should be interviewed.
Listen, the people get to hear from you enough once a week on these airs, okay? They don't need an extra interview with you.
Yeah, but the interview could have been me getting into what Pokemon I used, what I did. It's like, I could get into all that right now, but I'm probably not going to because, we already went a while, and I want to kind of keep us on track. But, yeah, I could have went into what I used, why I was, good at what I did, because I was undefeated. I didn't lose at all. I didn't lose one round. I honestly don't even think I lost a Pokemon in that first thing.
Yeah.
I just...
You just smoked everyone.
And everyone was kind of shocked. They were like, damn, I didn't expect this. Like, what's going on here? And I'll give you one of my secrets. I use Whiscash, which is a weird, creepy fish Pokemon that
I don't like those.
That nobody likes.
No.
And granted, I never envisioned using it. I always thought it was a piece of trash. No Pokemon's a piece of trash, I learned. And
debatable.
Well, I mean, every Pokemon's kind of useful, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I think there's a few trash.
Every Pokemon should be loved.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, so what's the trash Pokemon?
No, I don't know. Like I've always had a thing against Tangela. I think Tangela sucks, but
I guess
it's just a bush.
Tangle Growth's awesome though.
It's a bush with feet,
which you can now evolve and get Tangle Growth right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Gonna be a force in.
You telling me Magikarps are useful?
You get a Gyarados from it.
What? Yeah, when they evolve into that. Otherwise,
but if you didn't put the time in the Magikarp, you wouldn't get the Gyarados.
Yeah, but
so
otherwise, just Magikarp on its own.
You got to give it some love.
Yeah.
If you give it some love, you get a sweet, monstrous
No.
Leviathan.
No, I drop it off at the babysitters every time, and I just wait a couple of days and pick it back up.
Yeah, but you still got to at least battle with it to evolve it. The babysitter doesn't evolve it
and
for
that
you.
one time you have to do it sucks. I try to save a rare candy. Just pick it up, give it that. Okay, boom.
Oh,
Don't waste my time with this flopping fish.
You
Yeah.
You get it high enough, and then it learns like tackle and stuff. So it's
great!
Not just splashing.
A fish that can tackle.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. Or struggle, or yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
So we're digressing here. Let's get back to the. So the Boulder Cup was really good. We had 11 players. Like I said, I was the winner. Whiscash was my MVP. We went to the Ultra League, which I was also the winner of. MVP of that was my Typhlosion with Blast Burn. So if you guys are out there and you're not into community days, do your community days because those special moves really do make a difference. And finally, we had a Master League, which I was going for the Mark Spitz. I wanted to say the Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Because he's like, the Mark Spitz, I guess, is an older dude.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess he's still a champion himself. But Sam was like, "You're going for the Mark Spitz, man," and I was like, "All right." And I was getting so hyped up that I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I want this. I want these 3 gold medals. I'm gonna do this."
Uh-huh.
And I lost. I didn't.
Womp womp.
I went undefeated in the first 2 or 3 rounds, and then finally in the championship, I won the first round and then lost consecutively the next 2 rounds. So, granted,
Oh, here we go.
I'm not taking anything away.
Here we go. Here it comes.
There was some technical difficulties. We did have some technical difficulties with once they started streaming the Rumble. Once they put the Rumble on the wall opposed to a TV, it started to mess with the Wi-Fi a little bit. So we were having, not just me, towards the end, maybe the semifinals as well, was having issues where they had to restart and stuff. So it got to the point that we were having so many issues that we just both agreed that we're just gonna do it. If we have an issue, we have an issue. We'll take it. We'll shake on it. We'll just play it out. And we still had him, but it is what it is. But I got to give him credit. He had a beefy Lugia. His Lugia was really a force, and it was very hard to take out. And in our final round, he took out my counter early. I guess I made the mistake of putting the counter out when Lugia wasn't out anyway, so it was my fault anyways. But he took my counter out early, and I really had nothing to stop his Lugia. Granted, I got it into the red. I was like a hit away from winning.
Oh, yeah.
But my charge move didn't go off. So
close.
Yeah. I didn't beat him, unfortunately, but I was close. It was a very I think all 3 rounds were really close. He was really good. He was great. He's an awesome trainer. Fantastic. He had a really good team. He had a lot of coverage in all of his Pokemon. His Lugia had both moves, so he put a lot of time into it. A lot of rare candy, a lot of dust.
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah,
Oh,
spent a ton on that.
Wow.
And it was a force. Definitely did a really good job. So, yeah, I was really disappointed that I couldn't win all 3. The prize for the Master League was a full set of Kanto badges. They were like, I'm assuming they were pins.
Yeah, they looked like pins, yeah.
But I was just like, oh, I want these so bad.
They were pretty sweet looking.
They
though.
were so sweet.
Yeah.
They weren't like your typical like pin that just, they were like legit the shape of each bat. Like they were so awesome. And I'm still so mad that I didn't win them. Like
Came in a nice little case too.
Yeah, nice little like, Pokeball case.
They had it on display, and even I was like, oof. Yeah.
I was like, that's all I wanted.
That's pretty good.
But I had to get cocky and jinx myself. And the best part too is because I was doing so good, I was just like, I'm not gonna change anything. And I had an extra counter on my team for Lugia. I had a Tyranitar on my team too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not putting Tyranitar in.
Oh.
I'm all set. I don't need it. And I needed it. I got too cocky, so that was part of my hubris was my downfall.
In the words of DJ Khaled, you played yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
A little bit.
That was a time, Dimitri. We should have a played yourself sounder from now on because I played myself.
Yeah.
I did. So
Oh, well.
the Boulder Cup was a great success. So after we decided that we want to keep doing these, there's supposedly 8 tournaments over the next 8 months that Sylph's gonna host, or their software is gonna host, that communities can organize. If you rank high enough and have a high enough ranking, that you will be invited to. Well, your community will be invited to have a regional tournament. So if you have enough and there's enough player ranking within your community, they'll let us host a regional tournament. And then once you host a regional tournament, your players, like the winner of your tournament, I'm assuming, or the best people, I'm sure, I don't know if they'll just do a one and done. It might. First couple people, I think, it might be a one and done.
Top ranked.
Get invited to the championship, which will be at GoFest.
Okay.
Last year it was in Chicago. I'm not sure where they have it this year. Now, I'm not sure if... I'm assuming you just get the invitation and you're allowed to go. I'm sure you have to fly out there yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be...
I mean, it'd be sweet if they flew you out there and all that, but you probably...
But
have
I
to
mean, just getting the ticket or just getting the entrance into it alone is probably saving you some money. They're probably a good amount of money to get a ticket there. But I'm assuming you got to have your own airfare and all that stuff. And I'm not sure where it is this year. Can you look that up, Jason, where GoFest is this year? I know it was in Chicago last year. I don't think it's going to be Chicago again.
And just to clarify, there actually has not been a location announced for GoFest 2019.
Okay. So 18 was in Chicago, though.
It was in Chicago, yeah.
Okay.
They haven't announced a location for this year.
So cool.
So.
All right. But the championships will be there, according to Sylph. So finally, we're getting into... Like we said, the first tournament was a lot of fun. We covered it with Static Rift. We wanted to do more. We're going to be doing more in the future tournaments. We're probably going to have some announcing, kind of like what we did with what was it, Beast Coast, Dimitri? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
We announced the Beast Coast tournaments a couple years ago. I'm going to try and do triple duty, organizing it, playing in it, and announcing in it. I don't know if it will happen, if I can do it.
John's head is going to explode.
But I'm going to try. I'm definitely going to try. If I can keep up my skill like I did in the first tournament and blaze through my opponents, I can do it. If I don't, if I start losing or I start having harder matches or it takes me longer, it might be tougher to do it. I might only be able to do it like towards the end or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But the goal is to have announcing, streaming it on Twitch, streaming it on whatever streaming platforms we can put it on. We'll see what happens if we Twitch it or if we Facebook it. But we want to stream it. We want to have it going. We want to have some cool banter, some cool announcing. Me and Jason are both big wrestling fans, so I think we'd do some good announcing. I got the experience with Beast Coast, so I got some video game announcing under my belt. So I think we could do a really good job. So we'll see what happens. But we're proud to announce, we actually announced it today, that the second tournament, the Twilight Cup, which was announced about a week and a half ago from Sylph, it is the second tournament in the Sylph League. It's Fairy, Dark, Poison, and Ghost type Pokemon. Again, 1,500 CP or under. It's going to be an interesting. Everyone's expecting it to follow the badge thing. Maybe it be the Cascade badge, Misty's badge. It's not. It's the Twilight Cup. So I'm excited for it. We have it set for the last Sunday in February. It's February 24th. It's going to be a game underground again. That's in Waltham, Mass. 349 Moody Street. So if you guys listening, you want
what time will that tournament be?
Oh, thank you. It'll be. We set the event to start at 4:00, so we want you guys to get there at 4 or 4:30. Anytime after 4, but before 5. 5 is promptly starting the tournament, so we're giving that extra hour just in case anyone has any issues with making a Sylph card, anyone has any issues setting up their pre-registration team or anything like that, so I can go through and help you out, help you set your team. But I really hope that people will not procrastinate and actually get it in, because if everybody that shows up doesn't pre-register, it's going to be tough to, even in an hour, to get everybody. If 11 people show up again or 12 people show up again, it's going to be tough. But granted, if you already played in the first tournament and you already have a trainer card, you have it. So all you got to do is type in the 4-digit number and you're in.
Yep.
So it's super easy. It takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So we have the Twilight Cup. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's the only ranked tournament that we'll be doing. We did 3 tournaments the first time. This time we chose to do 2 tournaments. So the second tournament, we did a poll on Pokemon Go Massachusetts to see if people wanted to have a tournament in the Ultra League or the Master League. The Ultra League blew the Master League away, so people want to have that middle ground, that 2,500 CP, which is cool. It's interesting. It makes things very interesting, because if you're a lower level player, which I guess makes sense why more people wanted it, if you're a lower level player, you can kind of hang in there with a level 40 or a level 38 player or something like that, because everyone has that same CP, where in the Master League it's whatever CP you want. So
anything goes.
You can be battling someone in the 4,000s or something. So it's going to be held in the Ultra League. It's going to be a Valentine's based tournament. So it's Pokemon that are colored red, white, or pink, or typed fire and ice.
Okay.
So it's going to be an interesting thing. There's Bulbapedia has every Pokemon's color, so you can search Pokemon color, because their Pokemon does it weird. Like, they consider Charizard red. I consider him orange, but
but I get why they say he's red.
It's like they only use primary, because they don't have I don't know, they don't have like orange or stuff like that. Yeah. But he's considered red. So red, white, pink, fire or ice type Pokemon in the Ultra League. We haven't thought of a name for it yet. I don't want to just call it the Ultra League. I'm thinking of maybe the Tournament of Love.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm thinking that a la Dragon Ball Super with the Tournament of Power might be the Tournament of Love. But it should be a lot of fun. And just like before, the last time there was an entrance fee. It was $15. $10 went into the 2 pots. $5 went to the venue, because you got to hook the venue up. They're doing us a service to let us be in there. This time it's only going to be $10. $5 to the venue, $5 to the Tournament of Love, and the winners, the top 3 trainers, split the pot. So all that money, it's not like we keep it or anything. It goes right back to you guys. So top 3 trainers win the money back. There'll be other prizes. I'm hoping there's another set of badges.
Let's hope so, yeah.
I'm hoping there's another set of badges because I need to win them this time.
Yeah, right.
So, and also I have to, part of me was like, I hope it's Master League because I want to like redeem myself because I have a silver medal in the Master League. But now it's like, now I have to defend my title of the Ultra League.
You do.
I can't lose this.
No.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But Twilight Cup, Game Underground, February 24th. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited. I hope you're excited. And we'll be talking about it more. We'll be covering it more. Hopefully we'll have a bigger set of coverage next time. So next time we talk about it on the show, we'll have more interviews. I want us to interview more people. We should have interviewed, well, I guess I was the winner, so you guys didn't want to interview me.
Yeah.
But we're doing it. I don't care.
I didn't feel like talking to you.
Whatever, whoever wins, or maybe if I win, we'll just interview the runner-up or something.
Yeah.
And they can be like, John was a beast. Or whatever. But I do want to have more interviews because we should get more people in. Maybe someone that like wasn't even a top finalist, but just to see how they feel. Like, did you like it? Did you have fun? You know, stuff like that. Yeah. So we want to have more interviews. We're gonna try and stream it more, add more stuff to it. So if you're in a PvP or you just like listening to the show and you want to hear your favorite host destroy people in Pokemon, you know, you can.
There you go. Yeah.
And Niantic's really trying hard. Their goal is to make it an esport eventually. So
it's a lofty goal.
It's a lofty goal, but we'll see what happens. Lesser games have done it, so why not?
That's true. Yeah.
Why not Pokemon Go?
Lord,
you know?
that's true. Yeah.
So I think it can be done, and I hope it is done. But that's the end for this segment. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to talk Batman and who we think is going to be the next Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck's out.
He's out.
Who do we think should be
done.
in? Stay tuned.
What's up, Rifters? We're back. We're going to be talking some Batman coming up because I don't know if you've heard, but there's going to be a new Batman movie coming out. It's going to be directed by Matt Reeves.
Yes.
And our boy Ben Affleck is out. He's done.
So we mentioned this. It might have been before your time, Jason, or maybe you might have maybe when you just first came on, but we said that I forget who I was. It might have been you or it might have been Jensen. I was talking with someone, or maybe it was Mitch. I was talking with somebody on the show about the potential of Batfleck leaving.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we don't know. Would he go? You know, would he stay? Because it was so tumultuous that, like, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? He wants to be here. He's directing it. Now he's not directing it. He's out. He's in. He's out. He's going to be here. Oh, he's not Suicide Squad. He's out again.
Yeah.
So it's like he's been in and out, in and out, in and out, not directing it. Matt Reeves is finally in, and now he's directing it now.
Yep.
So then finally, he was still in. It was Matt Reeves and him. And then finally you hear just a week, I'd say end of last week, that Matt Reeves has come out with a date. It's going to be coming out June 25th, 2021, so it's still a bit away.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he announced that he wants it to be a detective-esque movie, which I'm super for.
Right.
I really like that. I think that we've never got to see Batman's detective skills on the big screen, and I'd really like to see it. I mean, I guess you've seen kind of like flashes, maybe, if that. It's been more of just justice fisting,
right? Yeah,
opposed to any of his detective skills or any of his deductive skills or any other skills Batman has besides punching somebody in the face.
Sure.
And you know, Batman's a tactical genius. Batman vs Superman used a little bit of his tact and his crazy planning.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see more of that. I'd love to see kind of them get in more of the brain of Batman, get more of the mind of Bruce Wayne. So he announced that it's going to be a detective-oriented movie. There'll still be action in it because, come on, it's Batman. But it's going to be centered around him being a detective.
Yep.
So I'm excited, but I know when we talked about it, you were a little skeptical, you know, like how entertaining can a detective be? And I said, you know, Sherlock Holmes, but you made a good point.
Yeah, so comparing it to Sherlock Holmes, like Sherlock Holmes is an enigmatic personality. He's got a ton. He oozes charisma. Like, so you don't mind watching him, solve a mystery with very little action, because especially when he's played by a great actor like Robert Downey Jr., it's entertaining to watch his personality just take over the screen. Batman doesn't, at least not to me, does not have that type of personality where you can just watch him be Bruce Wayne / Batman with, very little action, and it's going to keep you entertained. I don't think of him. He's not one of those superheroes that has that personality that just is always entertaining you. Like Spiderman might, someone like that. But Batman's more stoic. He's more sort of reserved, I think. So that's my only hesitation when it comes to this, is how much are they going to go away from the action? Because if they go away too much, I feel like you're setting me up for a 2.5-hour movie that's maybe not going to be all that entertaining. So
me and Jason were like, wow, who should be, the new Batman? And, there's so many names out there. As soon as they announced that Ben Affleck was gone, everyone was tossing out names. John Hamm's a big one. Everyone's like, oh, John Hamm should do it. John Hamm probably would have been a great Batman 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He's a little,
I don't know about now.
a little
No.
too long in the tooth to be Batman, unfortunately. So me and Jason decided when we were doing prep for the show, planning for the show, that it had to be somebody in their 30s. They couldn't have reached 40 yet. Because my original pick, and I think I've said it on the show before, was Scott Adkins. He's 42 now, or 41, or almost 42. He was my original pick for Batman back when Ben Affleck was picked. I was like, bad call. Like, it should be this dude. This dude looks just like him.
Yeah.
So Scott Adkins was my pick. He's a little too old, so it doesn't kind of go with our allotted age frame that we gave for this segment. So we wanted to kind of make it a little tougher on ourselves, because, come on, there's so many 40-year-old actors that probably would be great as Batman, but we wanted to.
Sure.
Our thought process is, if it's going to be the Batman going forward, which just in an article that was posted today, that they're not even sure it's going to be in the DCU or a standalone movie. I think that's dumb if it's not in the DCU, but that's a whole other topic.
That is interesting.
We don't want to open that Pandora's box.
No, yeah.
But this segment is going to be predicated on it being in the DCU. So our thought process is, we want this Batman to be Batman for the next 10 to 15 years. Think Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Chris Evans as Captain America. We want him to be in all these DC movies, be able to sign a contract, be in his own movie, be in everybody else's movie, be in a Justice League movie. We want to have like a Marvel model for DC, and this Batman kind of being one of the pillars, with maybe Wonder Woman and whoever else as the other pillars. But this is your Captain America, say. Wonder Woman's your Iron Man. This is your Captain America. And that's our thought process here. So we gave it has to be someone in their 30s. So it could be any age 30. Could be 35, 36, 30, whatever. As long as they're in their 30s, it could be younger. It could be in their 20s. But as long as they're in their 30s, they can be an option. So you can go first, Jason. Who is? I know you have a pick that you're very passionate about.
Yes, I'm gonna save that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna save that one. But so the first name I'll throw out there is Matt Bomer. Matt Bomer, you probably know him from White Collar. He was on that show. He played the main character on that.
So I know White Collar, but I don't I can't think of what he looks like.
He's been on American Horror Story. He's been in something else too. I think he was in one of the Magic Mike movies. I don't know.
Matt Bomer.
Yeah, but he's got the look. He's young enough, and he doesn't. His name isn't doesn't jump out at you. He doesn't have a tremendous amount of star power behind his name, but he's got the right look for a young, sort of more detective Batman.
So I just Googled him, and this guy's like a tale of two faces, kind of.
Yeah.
When his hair's a little longer, I could see it. I
Sure.
could see it. I guess I could see it. He has a Bruce Wayne-esque face,
Yep.
but more of Bruce Wayne as Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He gives me a Christian Bale, like a younger
bit.
Bale vibe.
A little bit.
But when his hair's a little shorter, he looks Superman-ish. He looks a little.
Yeah,
he looks a
I
little
suppose
Superman-ish.
that's true. He does have a little
Yeah.
Clark Kent to
A little,
him.
little
Yeah.
Clarkish,
I
yeah,
hear
especially
you.
with glasses.
Yeah.
There's a couple photos with him with the glasses on. I'm like, this guy
Yeah,
could
then
be
you can
Superman.
really see it.
Maybe this is their Superman. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But okay. I mean, I don't know if I would endorse it. I don't know if I'd be like, yeah. How's his body look? I know that.
I mean, I'm sure he's in shape.
yeah, he's a jack dude. I'm looking at him. I mean,
He was-
a little skinnier than what I'd want, but they have him in a.
He's
in a-
going to be in a suit and,
not bad,
he
not
can pull
bad.
it off, yeah.
He could probably pull it off. Again, I don't know if it would be my dream guy, but all right. Yeah, I can see that. He's looking all right. He's looking okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad.
So, for me, I don't know. It's tough because I want to have somebody that I guess. So we're gonna go with someone that we could see it, I guess, but
Sure.
isn't our main guy. We'll kind of how do you want to do 3 actors?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
not our main guy. So an actor that I really like, I think he could be Batman, but I'd rather him be Wolverine. Is Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood,
I think he's
yeah.
got the jawline. I think he's got a similar hair. But again, he's third on my list because I would want him to be I think he's your next Wolverine. He looks very Wolverine-ish to me. I would want him to be Wolverine, and I hope he's Wolverine. He's young too. He's in his early to mid 30s. He's a pretty good actor. He's Clint's son, so you got to figure he's got the name.
Sure.
He hasn't been in a ton. At least I don't
He
remember.
hasn't been in a ton of hits. I mean,
Yes.
I can't name one movie he's actually been in. I know I've seen him like advertise for stuff, but
Sure,
I can't.
sure.
I can't think of anything that he's actually been in.
I want to say I saw he was actually. Oh, damn it! He was a bit role in Suicide Squad.
Okay. Yeah, I
can-
remember that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I sort of
I'll
remember
accept that. He was in the Fast and the Fate of the Furious. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't watch any of those.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
He was in Pacific Rim Uprising. I didn't see it. He was in The Longest Ride. What I know him from is he was in Fury. The
Right.
war movie.
Yes, the war movie.
And he was great
He
in
was
Fury.
good. He was good
He
in-
was like that
yeah.
dirtbag sergeant.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, this dude. Like, and that was when I was like, you know what? He could be Wolverine. He's got that jawline. And for a while, he kind of had the chops, too. And I was just like, yeah, this is my Wolverine. But I think he could also be Batman. If you look at him when he has, like, a shorter hairdo, he's got the jawline. I think he could be Batman. I think he could be a good Bruce Wayne. So he would be probably my lower-end pick because
Lower end.
I'd rather him be... I don't think Marvel's going to share their guys for the most part.
Not likely.
So
Yeah.
if, I would want him to sign as Wolverine.
Wolverine,
I don't
yeah.
want him, but if not, I could see him being Batman. I could definitely see him being Batman. So,
Okay. So I guess the next guy on my list, I would actually put him. I'd probably tie him with Matt Bomer for how strongly I feel that he should get the role.
oh wow.
And I'm gonna butcher his name.
Okay.
Milo Ventimiglia,
Yes.
or Milo. I don't know if it's Milo or Milo. The guy from that stupid "This Is Us" show
I think it's
that everyone fawns over.
Venti
The guy from Heroes.
Miglia, yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Heroes. That's
He's-
what I know him from. He's a little bit of a smaller guy. Doesn't have the buff necessarily, but I think he's got he's definitely, if he was Bruce Wayne, bingo. You put him in a suit, grow out his hair a little bit. He's got the Bruce Wayne look. I just don't know if he has the Batman look, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah,
You
yeah.
know? But he's definitely got the Bruce Wayne side of it down. I think if you maybe buff him up a bit, give him a little bit of a more slicked back hair thing, I think he could pull it off. And his acting chops are right there. I mean, I think he's a very good actor. So that part you wouldn't have to worry about. Like, that's why I give him a little bit of an edge over Matt Bomer, because I think he might be a better actor than Matt Bomer is.
Sure, yeah.
So that's my second pick.
And an interesting note here, he was the voice of Wolverine in the Marvel X-Men anime.
Oh, well, there you go. So he would probably be interested. Maybe,
So
anyway. Unless he just really hates
I want to
Batman.
say he did more animes, because his name seems familiar.
Probably
Because I
did.
don't watch. What'd you say he was from?
Heroes. That was the big show I know him from. He's on This Is Us right now. That stupid, everyone cries
Sure,
over
yeah,
show.
yeah.
He did do the Ultimate Spider-Man
Oh, yes.
TV series. He
Yeah.
was Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, okay. So, he
So-
could do the... Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So he's He's even been in your favorite show. He's been in Gotham. I had to throw that in there. But yeah, he's done quite a bit. Marvel anime, he was Wolverine, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. No Gotham. So, I don't know. I might have to change my pick here. I think
Ooh.
that article kind of, I don't know. Maybe this
Swayed you a little bit?
Maybe. So, well, let's do this real quick. We had a couple people on Facebook throw out
Oh, okay. See what we got.
who they think, and there's a rumor right now that who's the front runner.
Oh God. It's not gonna be a name I like, is it?
It's not a name we like.
Yeah.
So our buddy John Papp, who's been on the show before as a guest host, said Kit Harington.
Okay, from Game of Thrones, yeah.
I could see it.
Here's my issue. He's got a little bit too much of a soft, like, baby face.
Yeah.
I just can't see him being, I don't know. He'd have to be, like, you'd have to sell him as, like, he's new age Bruce Wayne. No longer the chiseled jaw, like, perfect hairline guy. He's going to be a little bit younger looking and, he has a very soft kind of baby face.
Maybe they pitch it as it's him coming back to Gotham in the beginning, or he just got back to Gotham, so he's a younger Batman just back from his training.
Sure. Yeah.
And, he's a little bit fresh-faced. He's a little bit,
Yeah. It's not a horrible suggestion.
It isn't a horrible suggestion.
I mean, if you got the chops to play Jon Snow, you got the chops to be Batman, too.
And then we have our buddy Jordan, who always is a great commenter on the Static Rift Facebook. He says Jake Gyllenhaal would be his dude.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And his reasoning is his acting is greatly improved. He's been in some dark-themed films. He's played smart characters before and just kind of comes across as intelligent fairly naturally. I think he could bulk up really well with good choreography, would pull out a really good Batman. Bonus, he looks and stays up really late.
Yeah.
He looks like he stays up really
He's
Yeah, he
already
does.
playing Mysterio. So
Yeah, and that's my point.
That's the issue.
I guess I kind of agree with it, and I thought about it kind of. How old is Gyllenhaal?
I think he's under 40. He might be late 30s, but I'm pretty sure he's under 40.
You type in Jake Gyllenhaal, and Jake Gyllenhaal Batman's like the first hit.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it's already
the,
getting steam.
it's
Yeah.
the first hit.
he fits just under your criteria. He's 38.
There you go.
So that's all right, okay.
Yeah.
And supposedly, Las Vegas is in on it, and they have
God.
bookies putting out odds, and he's 100-30. I don't really understand the whole booking thing.
Yeah, I don't.
But he's like the number one odded person to be Batman.
Wow.
With
Okay.
Oscar Isaac 4-1, Michael B. Jordan 5-1, Arnie Hammer 5-2, Kit Harington 8-1.
Wow.
So that's actually what I wanted to mention. Armie Hammer, I think, would be a good fit.
Yeah, I've heard Armie Hammer's name.
But isn't he
come
like
up
an
too.
awful actor though? Let me look at this.
He's not that good. He was in what was he with Johnny Depp?
the Lone Ranger or
Yes.
something.
Oh, the Lone
Yes.
Ranger. Yeah, and that movie bombed. He was in a spy movie with Henry Cavill, Superman, and it was like a spy rival type of movie.
So
So
Arnie Hammer, to me, I would want to be Hal Jordan.
okay,
That's someone I would hope would be Hal Jordan.
yeah, I could see that actually. That
he
would
looks
make
he
sense.
looks very Hal Jordanish.
Yeah.
He's got that more rounded face. He's got that wispy brown hair. That would be my Hal Jordan probably. I don't want him to be Batman.
You know, yeah.
No, I don't want him to be Batman. And I'd want him to be Hal Jordan that's working off of a Jon Stewart. So maybe he wouldn't be the lone Green Lantern or full-fledged actor in the film.
Yeah.
He would be more... So my second is probably also not a great actor.
Ooh, okay.
But he looks the part really well, I feel. I feel like he could be a really good Batman. He's got like the jaw, he's got the look kind of. It would be Stephen Amell's cousin Robbie Amell.
Oh, okay.
He was Firestorm Dimitri in The Flash. He would be again. You know what? I might even move him to third. Kind of. I just don't think he's a great actor. And
Sure.
in his name, I guess like the Amells have a big name, but
Yeah.
he's got that Batman-esque look. I mean, that didn't really work out there, but
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah, sure, I can see it. A young Bruce Wayne, definitely.
yeah, a younger Bruce Wayne. He's a young dude. I'm pretty sure. I think he's really early 30s. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
He's got to be pretty young.
But Robbie Amell would be somebody. Obviously, I don't think he'd get it. I think that he would be He's actually 30.
Oh,
He's
right on the
30
nose.
years old.
Okay.
Yep. So I think that he would be I think he could be a good Batman. He could do it, and he's kind of had some experience in DC related things. He was Firestorm, like I said, in The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a lot of other really crappy movies. He hasn't really been in anything great. He's been in some movie called The Duff.
The Duff.
I don't know what that is, but he was
Yeah.
he was in The Babysitter. I don't know. He's been in a lot of crappy movies, it seems. To me, he doesn't shoot out as somebody that's like a fantastic actor, but he does have. The Duff's got a 72 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's
Oh.
actually better than I would have expected.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what it is.
I
Does
don't
it have
either.
Hillary Duff in it? Is it like a Hillary Duff? Like,
Who knows?
oh man, I don't know. But he was in a movie called The Duff, and it looks like a awful movie. I don't know what it is, but he's in it.
I'll have to ask Sam about it. I'm sure he's seen it.
I don't know. So before we get into more of our picks, so the rumor right now that's out there being eyed for the part is Robert Pattinson. Gross.
Are you kidding me?
Gross.
Oh, God. What, is Batman going to sparkle now, too? Ugh. Please. No.
Oh man, they even have Boss Logic, which does a lot of like photoshopping of things like with characters they think should be in comic book movies or in normal movies. They're pretty well known. They do a lot of, and usually they're spot on. They're
Yeah.
like this. You're like, oh, this guy would be perfect.
Yeah.
So they posted that.
No, I don't like it. No. So for those listening, we're looking at a picture of Robert Pattinson that's like essentially him as Bruce Wayne. I don't like it. It's not, no. Like, he just doesn't, no. Not a fan.
We'll post it during the break.
Yeah.
But
It's, no.
yeah, I don't know about that one.
He's too pale, too skinny, and I'm sorry, he still has that Twilight stank on him. That is just, he does. Like, every movie he's been in since, like, it hasn't taken off, and I think there's a reason. I don't know. Just not necessarily his fault, but no, he's not Batman.
Yeah, I just don't know who can be. I don't know. I'm even starting to doubt like the person that I was like, you know what, this guy should be Batman.
Yeah.
So give me your number one.
All right, I'll give you my number one. The guy who should play Batman, a young detective Batman, should be the guy who's already playing a young Batman. I'm going with David Mazouz, my guy from Gotham. He's playing him right now. He's definitely young. He's 17, so But by the time the movie comes out, and
It'd be what, almost 20 probably.
yeah, so by the time they start like actually production, he'll be like 19, something like that. I don't know. He's got the. I think he does have the look. He's able to play that sort of like serious role to it. I think he's done pretty well on Gotham. I know you hate that show like poison, but I think he's done pretty well. And that would be my pick. Just stay young,
So why do you why? Like why over the other two guys you named? Why is he your pick? Like what does he have that sets apart from everyone else?
I don't know. I guess it's just that because he's already playing it, maybe that's where the bias comes from. But I think he's already done a solid job because he's not even Batman yet in the show. He's just basically being Bruce Wayne. So if this show's going to lean more towards him being a detective anyway, like for those that do watch Gotham, like that's sort of kind of the role he plays right now. He's not the action guy. He's not going out beating people up because he's a kid. He's a 17-year-old kid. He's more playing that detective, like, let's figure out what's going on type of role. And he does it really well. And I don't know. I just think it'd be a good out-of-the-box type of pick. And I think that you'd get the audience from that show would definitely flock to it because they'd want to see their guy. And I think it'd be a solid pick. His only thing working against him is that he's a smaller dude. He's 5'8". So I don't know. But I don't know if that matters. Like
I feel that you could, a la Kane, give him like the foot, the lifts on his boots or something.
Yeah, or just film it in a way that he looks taller, like they have to do with Tom Cruise in all his movies.
Yeah.
So but that's the only thing really working against him. Otherwise, I think he could totally do it.
I guess. I don't know. I just can't get behind it, I don't think. I think I tried watching it a couple times. I thought it was completely awful. I really hated it. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't know.
That's fair. It's not for everybody.
It just, I can't get it. And that's, again, it's to a different time, a different segment for a different show because I don't want to get into all the reasons I hate.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So, I'm like debating on who should be my number one because I'm kind of feeling so I read an article during the break and I was just like, not feeling this, but I'm kind of feeling it now a little bit. I think he's a little too small though, I guess, but I don't know. This picture here they got of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might be it. I don't know. He's looking kind of Batman-esque. I'd have to see him. I don't know. His jaw's okay. It's not great. I don't know. But again, could he do it anyways because of being in? Oh man, they're not playing around here.
Well, so who is this guy?
So the person that swayed me was Ben Barnes, who is Billy Russo, a.k.a. Jigsaw from The Punisher. So Netflix is The Punisher. Well, Marvel's Netflix The Punisher. So he's the antagonist of season 1 and 2, I believe.
Yep.
He's a little skinny.
He is skinny. He's a skinny dude.
He's a skinny dude, but he's a fit dude. He's jacked. Well, he's
actually,
like,
if you look up Ben Barnes' Westworld,
yep.
The look he had in Westworld could definitely be like a Bruce Wayne-ish type of look. Because he's excellent. Like, he's a good actor. He was great in Westworld. I thought he was pretty good in The Punisher. But I don't hate it. Like you said, a little skinny. But
Oh man,
he's kind of got the suave kind of look. Like, I could see it.
he always has a beard,
Yeah,
so it's like
most of the time, yeah.
I'd have to see him without a beard. I guess I don't know if I'd have to see him without a beard.
Yeah.
But he has a beard every time. But I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards it. He could bulk up. He could bulk up a little bit. And if they're going with how old is he though? Do we check that? Does he go against?
Oh, he's got to be. I doubt that he's over 40. There's no way.
See, I had his thing up too, and now I don't. Can you look that up? Is he?
Yeah. I'm sure that.
I mean,
He's 37.
all right.
So,
okay, so he could do it.
It fits.
He could do it.
He's a Brit too. How about that?
Wow, I would never guess it
Yeah.
because he was.
Luckily, I don't think we need to apply the same rules to Batman that, like, the British do to James Bond, where you have to be an American to play Batman. I don't think that's true.
No, I don't think so.
We've already gone against that rule anyway. So.
I don't think so. I think as long as he can do a good American accent.
Well, he does, and every show
Sure,
he's been in.
yeah. I thought he was an American dude. Yeah,
So yeah, I don't think that's an issue.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I could see it.
I'm kind of won over here. Is my pick? Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be the one.
I think the acting chops are definitely there. So it's just a matter of can they get the looks right. But yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, I can't even remember the original person I wanted now because I was unsold on them too. I was just unsold on everything. Scott Adkins was the dude I wanted, but he's too old, way
Yeah.
too old. So yeah, I would go Ben Barnes. It looks, there's a good photo up of him too as Batman. I think he might have posted it or he endorsed it. So we'll post that too
Yeah.
up on Facebook.
Is it the one with the city skyline in the background? He's got like the suit coat on.
No, it's actually like him in a Batman suit
Oh, okay.
with him holding like the helmet, like holding the cowl.
Oh, I see.
And he posted it, I think, on Instagram or something. But he has the beard.
Yeah.
Oh, if he didn't have the beard.
He can shave it off. That might work.
Oh, he does look very Batman-ish though, but a little skinny.
Sure.
Oh, he'd have to bulk up. I just don't know. I don't know who else we do. But what do you think, Rifters? Let us know. We'll be posting up these two pictures, but let us know who you think. We'll post up my pick, Jason's pick, and what was the third guy? I can't even remember the other pick we were going to post. Oh, Pattinson.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll post up who Jason thinks, so we'll post up who I think, and we'll post up Pattinson as Batman. Oh, gross. Gross.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be back with our final segment of the night, talking about the Punisher in video games. So Stay tuned. We just had a fantastic segment on who we think should be the next Batman after Batfleck. Jason is currently working on posting up our picks and also the awful picture of Robert Pattinson
Disgusting.
as Batman. Ugh, just saying it makes me sick. So for the final segment, it's going to be a video game segment. We don't have a lot of time left. We kind of took a little bit more time than we expected for, I guess, everything. So
Maybe a little bit.
we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Variety. They write articles all the time about various things. they wrote an article on the Punisher and if it's time for the Punisher to have a new video game.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that the Punisher hasn't done a really good job in the movie field. I'll beg to differ. I think Punisher Warzone was fantastic. But most people think Punisher Warzone sucked. I loved Punisher Warzone.
I was not a fan.
Punisher Warzone was awesome.
And I love Ray Stevenson, but no, he's not the Punisher.
I agree with you. Now he's not. But at the time, I thought he looked the part. I thought he played the part pretty well. Well, let's not get it. I beat this like a dead horse.
Rabbit hole,
I beat this like a dead horse. So no one likes Punisher Warzone but me. So movie fields hasn't been good. The one with Thomas Jane sucked. In video games, the Punisher video games have been stinky.
Trash.
Haven't been good. And got really bad reviews because they'd be mindless just killing games. Now, granted, a lot of people love shooters, but not the Punisher because it was done awfully bad.
Really bad.
Where the story wasn't great and even the gameplay wasn't great. So Variety put out an article with the most recent Punisher season and the success from the original Punisher season. Do you think it's time for... Well, let me kind of step back for a second. With the recent success of the Punisher season 1 and 2, I guess season 2 is debatable. I haven't seen it yet.
Right.
Jason's seen it. He didn't love it, but he didn't hate it.
Yeah.
And the recent success of Marvel's Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4, Marvel obviously needs to throw out another game.
Mm-hmm.
They have to throw out another game soon to come in after Spider-Man and
just keep that momentum
the
going.
Punisher's momentum is on a high right now, I guess. I haven't seen season 2, so I'm not fully sold on it, but is it time to put out another Punisher game?
Yeah.
And their thought process is it would still have the Punisher killing people, it would still be a third-person shooter, but it would be more of a story-driven narrative. It would focus more on the Punisher's mindset, his psychology, his psychosis, his thought process into, killing.
Sure. And why he does what he does.
Sure.
Yeah.
So think of maybe a Max Payne style game, maybe. Or maybe a less horrifying Last of Us, maybe.
Sure.
Something like that, but with the aspects of the Marvel Spider-Man game kind of put in there. I didn't play Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, they can't make it exactly like it because he doesn't have the same abilities of
Sure.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But maybe that same narrative-driven where it gives you those moments of the Punisher from the comics, gives you maybe some moments from the movies or the games that people would recognize and be like, oh, that's the Punisher. Maybe, him in Central Park holding his dead family or something.
Sure, yeah.
That's an essential, not maybe going back into it and reliving the family dying, but maybe just a quick flashback of him freaking out because he's remembering his family or something.
Yeah.
I think it would be good. I'm just not sold on it.
Okay.
I would like to see a Punisher game. I don't know if I want to see a Punisher game where I don't know if a Punisher game will work, honestly. That's the way they sold it in the article, where you kind of go into his mind and it would be a narrative driven game where I guess similar to almost, I think they compared it to God of War kind of a little bit, where God of War's narrative, but he's still killing and slaughtering people, but it goes into his mind, something like that, where I'm just I don't know.
Yeah.
Punisher and God of War, I don't know if I can compare them to, but they did a good job. A narrative-driven Punisher game where he's still killing people.
Sure.
All right, that makes me kind of think of Max Payne. Max Payne was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. I mean, the first one was good, but I want a great game. I don't want an okay game. I don't want an average game.
Right.
So I think that I don't know. I don't think if it comes out, I don't know if I would be sold on it.
Right.
I don't know if I'd buy it. If it's out on all systems, because I think that the next Marvel game has to be on everything.
Yeah,
it should be on all 3.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because I think Spider-Man, Sony owns the rights. Of course, it's just going to be a PlayStation exclusive. If Marvel's smart, they're going to pump their next character on all 3 platforms.
Yeah.
So if they put out a Punisher game tomorrow, I don't know if I'd buy it. Like, if I could get it, if it was on Xbox or it was on Switch, I don't know if I'd do it. I don't know. It would have to be a really great game. It would have to really pull me in. I'd have to see some awesome trailers for it. I'd have to hear some good reviews from people that I trust. I just don't know. As much as I love the Punisher, and Dimitri, you know I love the Punisher, I don't think I would buy a Punisher game unless it was phenomenal.
Wow.
So I don't think it would work for me.
Okay.
Now, I know you saw the season 2 of the Punisher, and you said that reading the article kind of made you feel that they were getting the vibe from watching the second season of the Punisher.
Yeah.
Where they were kind of more focusing on his mentality and his, PTSD or whatever,
all that
his
stuff.
issues.
Right.
So, would you be for a Punisher game or against a Punisher game?
I would be for it, ultimately because I'm selfish and I like the Punisher and I like video games, so you combine those two, and if you make it in the style and you put as much commitment into it as you did the Spider-Man game, I'm in, because I think they'd be able to do a great job. There's a few things you'd have to change, obviously. Like, for example, the Spider-Man game had a huge map, right? But that's because Spider-Man can just web and fly all over the place. If you're going to make a Punisher game, the map has to be smaller, because he doesn't move the way that, like, Spider-Man and, if you go back to, like, thinking about the Batman Arkham games, same thing. Huge map, but that's because Batman can glide and fly everywhere. So if you're going to make a Punisher game, it's got to have a smaller map.
So the Punisher could
and stuff
still...
like that.
He still has his
He
van.
does.
He still has he could or like maybe you make it. Now, I'm against this game.
Grand Theft Auto, like.
Maybe you make it a
Yeah.
little Grand Theft Auto-ish.
I thought about that.
But you have redeeming qualities now.
Yeah.
So you're going around. You can steal a car if you want to, or get a car if you need to. But there's kind of a leash. You can't just run around killing hookers and stuff.
So you want it to be actually a lot like what Red Dead Redemption 2 is, where you can go around and steal stuff, but you're gonna be in trouble pretty quick if you do. Because Red Dead Redemption 2 is very unforgiving if you commit crimes.
So I think a Punisher game for me would have to be in the vein of you're the Punisher, you're trying to destroy the criminal underworld,
Yeah.
but you also got to worry about getting away from the police.
Okay.
So there'll be points in time where you're killing mobsters and the police are coming, but you can't kill the police. You kill the police, you lose. You're out. You lose the game. You got to start over from your last save point. So you got to kind of evade the police while you're still killing these dudes. That's how I would want the game to be. So similar to kind of a game I've never played, and I hate it, Grand Theft Auto. I'm very against it because there's no redeemable qualities to your character. This could be that Grand Theft Auto style where you have police officers coming at you.
Well, there was a small section, and I don't think this is really spoilers, but there was a small section in the Spider-Man game where essentially the police kind of turn against you.
And you got to beat them up and knock them out.
So you still have to go after your main villain and all that,
Sure.
but they're also they're an ever-present threat.
And they can arrest you or take you out.
Well,
or...
they more try and take you out. Yeah,
Okay.
They don't try to arrest you.
So I could see that this maybe you can not you have stun grenades, or you have smoke grenades, and you have to escape, or you have to. Oh man, this is a Punisher game I could get behind.
Change your loadout based on if the police are coming after you, or if you're going
you
got to
kind of have both loads.
Yeah,
you got to similar to Resident Evil when you couldn't kill a bigger a tyrant or a bigger zombie.
Yeah, right.
Where you could immobilize them, but you had to run away. You couldn't really do it until the story lets you do it. The story would never let you do it because you can't kill cops.
Yeah.
But maybe you knock them out. Maybe you stun them. Maybe you smoke them.
Okay.
That would be a game I could
That
get
could work.
behind.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
could
know
work.
about necessarily the God of War style game or the Max Payne style game.
Yeah, the God of War style I don't want. I don't want endless enemy fountains where it feels like you're hacking and slashing your whole way through the game.
But there's a story behind it.
Yeah, I know.
Because this new one's supposed to be a really well-developed story, right?
Oh, God of War, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it's still in that original God of War sense where you're hacking and slashing.
Now
most
I
of the
see
time.
I think if they do it that way. It's the God of War style with a hint of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Maybe a watered down God
all
of
right.
War.
So I think they should introduce the same thing they did in Spider-Man, where in Spider-Man, you can, web and glide through the city freely, whatever. You're not hacking and slashing, but there are crimes that take place. And
Sure.
they show up on your map as, hey, there's a crime taking place, and you go down there and you sort it out, and you get, experience points, bonus points for it. That's the way the Punisher should be. Like, you're walking around as a Punisher, you're heading towards whatever your main objective is, but hey, over in that street corner, there's, a drug trade happening. Go be the Punisher and go
So Spider-Man,
sort them out.
could you say that Spider-Man has Grand Theft Auto qualities?
In terms of, like, the free travel of just
Yeah.
being able to go anywhere in the city at any time, yeah. Yeah, it did. So, like, you weren't locked into a linear storyline in Spider-Man. You could go off and do side missions. You could go off and,
See, I think the Punisher has
do
to
the
be
crime
like that.
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
got to be like
Oh, I agree.
it
Yeah.
has to be like that, but it has to have a. I don't know if it has to. I want a good story, but it doesn't have to be like a emotional, psychological story. I guess
Yeah.
it can just be a story that ties in the all like
And that's exactly
the lore
what
of the
Spider-Man
Punisher,
was.
right?
Yeah.
And it gets me those feels, and I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
the Punisher, dude. Like, but I want him having to worry about cops and worry about
Sure.
mafia dudes while he's still worrying about the main boss.
Yeah.
So whatever, I'm sure it'll be
Whoever
like
the main villain is, yeah.
the Spider-Man's level Sonic, or it's you go through levels, right? You
Yeah.
go through
Oh, yeah.
bosses and stuff.
Yeah,
I
well, essentially, yeah.
think the Punisher should be similar to that, where there's like an overarching boss.
Yeah.
There's little bosses, but then his henchmen are kind of all around too.
Yeah, exactly.
There's crimes where maybe you're trying to go, jigsaws down the street, but this dude's about to, rob this woman or
Yeah.
kill this woman. So
And you
gotta,
can even throw in the cool feature of, like, Spider-Man you unlocked different Spider-Man suits
Yeah.
from different editions of Spider-Man
Sure.
all through the ages. Do the same thing with the Punisher.
Yeah.
You get different Punisher outfits from different
Yeah.
variations of him from
Sure.
whatever type of media,
Yeah.
and you make that like an unlockable through the game. It could definitely work.
Yeah.
You could definitely do it.
Yeah, I think they could. So I know there's a game that you would rather have over, like if you could pick if you could have the next Marvel character be, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be the Punisher for you.
No.
You like the thought of it, but
Mhm.
you have a different idea, and it's a really good idea. So I'm gonna let you.
Okay. I think it should be Daredevil. And I think you do it, again, not to keep harping on Spider-Man, but there is a reason why it won Game of the Year at the Rifties.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
Absolutely.
But you make it pretty much exactly the same as that, where in the Spider-Man combat, when you're fighting, there's a prompt that goes off on the screen for his spidey senses that allows you to counter and dodge and whatever. Do the same thing for Daredevil. Have that sensor go off. That's his, his heightened senses helping him out. It could totally work.
And they could make it different enough that maybe he hears something, or
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, like it won't be spidey sense in
Sure.
his case. It'll be just that his heightened sense of awareness allows him to, either like, maybe it slows down time. Maybe it's like you incorporate what Red Dead does with like the Dead Eye, where everything slows down and you can kind of pick off your opponents. Maybe do something like that for Daredevil, because his senses are so heightened that he's able to just be faster than everybody. Something like that. But you could totally do it. And I think that Matt Murdock, the character, would be, you build an entire game around him and his arc and his story. It could totally work. And I would much rather, as much as I would love to have a Punisher game, I'm sold if there's a Punisher game, but I'll take a Daredevil game first. I think that'd be sick.
So I thought of a game too. I'm a big Captain America guy. I think that keeping in the vein of the Spider-Man game, again, I didn't play it, but the way you've described it, and a lot of other people have described it to me, I would have a Captain America game similar to that.
Mhm.
Maybe it kind of goes through the eras of Captain America, so it
Yeah.
starts out with, not to get too into it, but, maybe Captain America's fighting someone currently right now, fighting Red Skull or something. He ends up either thinking back to World War II or, gets hit, whatever. You get to have Captain America maybe different eras. Him in World War II, him with the invaders, him with, just him getting ready with the, getting to start with the Avengers. Maybe you have a moment where a part of it is him fighting Iron Man, and it would be similar to, instead of having the spider sense, it would be your shield where you're throwing your shield, and it would prompt you to like throw your shield here or bounce your shield off this. Like that, I would like to have a game like that, but I don't know, that Punisher game that we were talking about.
It's not bad, yeah.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good.
Definitely work.
But I like your Daredevil game way better than my Captain America game. So Daredevil would be really good, and I think that's probably the best bet with all the popularity and all the hype that Daredevil's had.
Absolutely.
Maybe you get Charlie Cox to
you
voice
got him
it.
to voice it.
Oh,
man. Yeah, you'd be golden.
Do you know who voices Spider-Man?
I can look it up.
So currently there's a petition right now for a new Punisher game for Xbox One and PS4.
Okay.
Right now, and it has 894 supporters, so not that much, but
I don't mind that.
But there is a petition right now.
So someone named Robbie Damon voiced Spider-Man in the video game.
I'd have to listen to him if he sounds good. But
let me look up the rest of that voice cast, because I think they had some pretty interesting. Yeah, Laura Bailey was voicing. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Yuri Lowenthal who voiced Spider-Man.
Oh, so
it's our good guy Yuri. Yeah.
Sasuke from Naruto, Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto, and a ton of other. Oh man, he's like one of the quintessential like anime voice actors.
Yeah,
he's in everything. Oh man, he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, in the video
I'd have
game.
to hear. Yeah. I can't imagine him being Spider-Man, but he's a great voice actor. So, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to listen to him off air and see how good he sounds. But wow, yeah, that's a good pick, maybe potentially. But yeah, so that's our picks. I would do a Captain America game. Jason would do, but I think I'd back your
Daredevil.
Your Daredevil game. Yeah, that's
hard
really
to turn
good.
away. Yeah.
It'd be hard to turn away. And there's so many different storylines and things that Daredevil's done in his like illustrious comic book career that you could do so many cool stories, so many cool things. And Spider-Man game is mostly in the daytime, right?
Yeah, there's a few things.
So this would have to
night,
be mostly at night.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that's something I could get behind. That's definitely, as much as I love Cap, I think I would back your game over my game. But I would take a Punisher game as long as it's not like the plan of Variety. Unfortunately, Variety is a good. They could put out some good articles, but I have to disagree with them with their version of Punisher. I don't want to see that kind of Punisher.
Yeah.
So we're getting quickly into the end of the show. We're going to be talking what we're looking forward to. So,
sure.
Jason, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to playing some more of the Resident Evil 2 remake. That game's awesome. It's so good. I mean, I loved the original when it came out in '98. It was probably the first ever survival horror game I ever played. The remake is awesome, as you would expect.
I hear it's super hard.
It is. Yeah, it reminded me how bad I am at Resident Evil, because I barely made it out of like the first part of it.
They beefed up the Tyrant.
Oh yeah, Mr. X he's nasty.
He's
now.
Mr. X now.
Yeah. Oh, he's nasty now. Yeah.
Oh man.
He's really nasty. But that game is great. If you enjoyed the original, go get the remake. It's so worth it.
Dimitri, how about you? What are you looking forward to?
Crash Team Racing comes out in June.
Oh, you've been harping about this.
Rebooted.
Nice.
All right, nice. What, it comes out for all three systems, or do you know what it comes out for?
Switch and PS4, I think.
Are you gonna Switch it, or are you gonna
Hopefully.
PS4
I don't know.
it?
We'll see. Not sure. Find out.
Oh, all right. And for me, we announced the tournaments, whatever. I am looking forward to that. But like I said earlier on the show, I'm getting back into reading comics. I've read a lot of Daredevil comics this week and last week. I'm looking forward to finishing Charles Soule's run on Daredevil. I think it was the winner of Comic of the Year for the Rifties. I'm down to the last 4 issues here. It ended 2 or 3 months ago. I know I'm behind. I'm reluctant to finish it, but I'm looking forward to finishing that. But I'm also looking forward to starting the return of Wolverine. So Wolverine died a couple years ago, more than like 3 or 4 years ago, and they just started bringing him back a few months ago. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it, but I'm looking forward to finding out why he has heated claws now, and how he came back. Because I still don't know how he came back. He's just back, so I want to know how he's back.
It's just there.
They
Just
better
deal with
tell
it.
me.
Yeah.
He just rolls up, driving a bear truck. He's like, "What's up, bub?" Like, no, I want to know why you're back. Like, how are you here? Get out of here. Well, don't get out of here, but tell me why you're back.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. So this has been episode 157 of Static Riff Radio here on the Go Network. You can find us here each and every Tuesday night from, I don't know, we never keep on time, so 7 to 9 we're supposed to, but
Some undetermined amount of time.
some undetermined time between 7 and 10 p.m. But we'll get on track. But you can find us here on the Go Network every Tuesday night. If you want to listen to us on any podcasting platform, we're on there: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all those other ones. I don't know any other ones beside those 3, but we're on them all. We're on every platform you can think of. So yeah, you can find us here, there, and you can listen to any of our back episodes also on staticriff.com. So again, thank you for listening. You can find us here, same static place, same static time. I love you all. Have a good night.